In my first video of so-called Total Mathhammer, I want to look closer at reload skill as it applies to the game and what it can do for you. This was split off from my upcoming Khalida Lord video, but she's going to be my example of a reload skill area effect buff. Other cases will vary. Let's go into the math. Full thanks to a video from Wyvern Gaming 6 years ago, giving me math to work with. Links will be made. TLDR, each point of reload skill increase is roughly 1.1% reload time reduction according to his math. We'll use this without worrying too much about the exact formula, because a rule of thumb is entirely good enough for our purposes. In-game, Veterancy grants reload skill, which the game uses to calculate missile strength in light of unloading the arrows faster. We'll use skeleton archers as our head cannon for this. So even without any help from Khalida, skeleton archers shoot faster as they rise in rank and XP chevrons. Khalida's default boost is Blessing of Asaph, plus 15% missile strength, applying to both types of damage, and plus 15 reload skill. We'll come back to this later, but I'm just reminding for reference. Arrows of Asaph, the redline skill, provides 20% more ammo and plus 8% more missile strength, which is what we're interested in. If and only if the skellies are rank 7, Blessing of the Asp will grant plus 12% to the damage. I didn't even have that for the quest battle footage that I'll put up and show a particular part where my archer units were repositioning, and then this Vargulf, who I was scared would burn through my tomb prints, just melted. This is from the 8% missile strength boost, yes. It's from rank 5 or rank 6 improvements to reload skill for the skeletons, from Khalida adding 15% to raw arrow damage, plus 15 reload skill, plus the tech tree boosts, but nothing else yet. The tech tree boosts are the quickening, important part being another 10% reload reduction, and bone edifice plus 10% missile strength. Here's the snapshot of Khalida with 2 skill points from that victory. Look at what I do not have yet. Asaph the Goddess provides plus 12% missile strength. True Blessing of the Asp upgrades the previous bonus in that bubble to plus 20% base and AP missile damage, and plus 25 reload skill. At rank 7, the base reload time for a skeleton archer will be 6.88 seconds. Missile base damage of 10 will have plus 20% from the redline skills, plus 10% from the tech tree. Now we add plus 12% from the blessing as part of the army, and then a plus 20% from Khalida's aura. That's plus 62% to weapon damage, so we should see 16 base damage per calcium injection. But wait, what about that reload skill? We already have 6.88 from Total War Warhammer stats and in-game, but we had 10% reload time reduction from the quickening, so let's use our rough figure of 1.1% per reload skill and make that a 27.5% reload time reduction. Let's guess we add both reductions together for convenience. It's close enough, we're not doing calculus here. So 37.5% reload time reduction, that would give us a reload time of 4.3 seconds. In fact, here's a screenshot from a Khalida campaign battle with a unit that is not yet rank 7, and therefore not benefiting from that part of the red tree, but the other reload time reductions are at work. Oh look, it says reload time 4.2 seconds. Pretty close, huh? But this teaches us something else that's rather valuable. The missile armor piercing damage is a derived number, not a number on its own, because hey, it's not like we went from 10 to 20 for base damage here. It's only 10 base damage to 15. Somehow, armor-piercing damage was rounded up to 2. That 2 instead of 1 for armor-piercing is what FES players would call a breakpoint, and it's enormously helpful here because the sheer volume of fire. These skeleton archers come in packs of 120 on Ultra scale, means 2 per shot minimum. Even against the backside of a steam tank is twice as much as 1. So our minimum damage has shot up. It's another point to our maximum too. The point is this. Reload time reduction is DPS by another name. We've already increased raw damage by 60%. We've gone ahead and further increased damage over time by 37.5%. That's with all attacks redlined, Khalida's blessings and her blessing aura in battle, no magic, no other special stuff, and a rank 7 skeleton archer unit, not rank 9. So in other words, the full version probably gives us literally double the DPS a starting unit with no bonuses had, or so close to it you'd need calculus to find the difference. And far, far less than the full version was able to make that Vargulf just melt. Now, a little of this is specific to skeleton archers, but not as much as you think. Just the reload time reduction of Khalida's presence is going to make using Caskets of Souls and Screaming Skull Catapults a lot easier, helping them rip through their ammo reserves a lot faster and do more damage shot per shot in the process. So whatever good, or lack thereof, Khalida is doing in the melee phase when ranged combat cannot save you, the boost she's providing is way higher than casual, because even the base, unupgraded version is essentially 15% more damage and a little over 15% reload time reduction. Each skeleton archer unit has 120 entities here. That's the lens through which we need to look at the quote-unquote weak units in Khalida's early arsenal. Now, I've used Khalida as my example, breaking this off from the lore video as I mentioned, but the added DPS and emphasis on the per second, or per 10 seconds, which is what the in-game stats use, is the same logic that applies to any similar source. Gunnery Wights, engineers of different factions, Alithanar, Patras, Smiting Overcast. All that's changed is the matter of degree. Of course, reload time is great, but the fun stops when your ammo runs out, and that is where your ammunition reserve increases matter plus restock mechanics. One army versus one army may never have you running out, but facing multiple armies may change that equation quite a bit. Anyway, without hard or fairly hard numbers, I wasn't sure how much reload skill buffs improve things, so I wanted to share my newfound appreciation. For perspective, I'll show some images from campaign battle situations, the first showing sepulchral stalkers within the bubble and just outside. The second shows Ushabti and the Regiment of Renown 2, and the regiment has an area effect component, which is how your Caskets of Souls look like they're doing 2,500 damage when buffed. It's double counting, but most of that damage is spread out in the area effect in practice. It's still helpful, and the shot per shot damage is wonderful, but a shot you have no time to actually fire does 0 damage. That's why reload time is directly linked to damage. Take care, and have fun crushing your foes with the power of math! And arrows. Lots and lots of arrows.